Good morning. Tuesday morning this day. So let's get started. I have a very short thing I want to share with you this morning. Kind of picking up where I left off yesterday. Yesterday, I did also talk about the American Diabetes Association, the fact that this is Diabetic Awareness Month, and I still want to continue to give a shout out to that. I want to make sure that people understand how important it is that you be aware of, particularly what the signs are about type 1 diabetes. Type 2 is a whole nother animal, and I don't know much about that. I have some things that I have some opinions about that, but that's not important. What's important is that there is a type of diabetes that requires a daily injection of insulin, at least daily. In my case, it's 4 times a day, but at least daily injection of insulin in order for life to be sustained from one day to the next. Life expectancy without insulin for type 1 diabetic, pretty short. It could be as long as 30 days, won't be much longer than that, I promise you. Deterioration takes place very rapidly. And so this is a really important awareness to be aware of. Almost everything else that we treat today, the medication is taken in the hopes that something doesn't happen, or in order to divert something from happening, or something to that effect. Diabetes, this is something that's required for the life to be sustained. Insulin is that thing that's required for life to be sustained. Can't remind you of that enough, because it affects way more people than you know, and it's a very difficult disease to deal with. I know I've spent all of my life since 15 addressing this issue with this illness. So enough of that. Just want to remind you, I want to keep that in forefront of your thinking. If you're not aware of that list of things that you need to be paying attention to, excuse me, I still have some remnants of this cough. That list can be helpful to you. Okay, things like a fruity breath, things like rapid weight loss, things like cuts and bruises that don't heal, things like excessive thirst, excessive hunger, weight loss. Those are the things that take place to somebody, and it happens rapidly, and I mean rapidly. In my case, I lost nearly 40 pounds in the span of about 35-40 days. And that was pretty ugly. So there are things to be paying attention to, particularly for young people, to make sure that we don't ignore that. No, they just eat a lot. No, they drink a lot. Pay attention to that. Make sure that you understand what might be going on with them, and don't fail to get somebody checked out. Like the doctor said to me, well, you don't have any history of diabetes in your family. You probably don't have that. No, let's be aware of the fact that nobody picks this, and it's not, a family doesn't come like your last name. So keep that in mind. It was pretty scary, Don. It really was. It was pretty scary. I was almost 6'5", and I had gotten down to about 140 pounds. It was pretty frightening looking there for a while. And nobody caught that. That's the thing that was disturbing, was that nobody paid attention to that. So that's the reason why I keep bringing it up. That's the reason why I mention it. That's the reason why I'm glad we have at least a month that we can focus our attention on that just a little bit, because those things are dangerous. They're dangerous, they're life-threatening, and they are life-altering. So just something to be fully aware of. The thing I want to talk about today is, and I mentioned this yesterday when I talked about the social media apocalypse, and I'm continuing to see that. That's okay. I don't have any change. I don't have anything to say or do about people and the decisions that they make about what social media that they're on. But I do want to tell you that there's 2 things you need to be aware of. Number one, you need to preserve your sanity, and if that means that you leave, do so. Okay, very simple. If you need to depart from Facebook in order to maintain your sanity, then hasta la vista. Make sure that you do what you need to do in order to maintain your sanity. But the second thing is, make sure you do what you need to do in order to preserve your business. Now, I'm involved with a lot of people who promote their business using Facebook, and Facebook has a great ad platform. I may or may not agree with it. May or may not agree with Facebook, but understand this, that their ad platform is the place that generates a lot of revenue for a lot of people that I know. I know some people who spend upwards of $40,000 a month advertising on Facebook. If everybody departs from that, they're missing out on some opportunity that's there. Just be aware of that. I don't like the rules that we are now playing by, but but what I am aware of is that it allowed us to have an opportunity to be able to connect with people that we knew. Some of the new platforms are using handles. And if you have a handle and I don't know what that handle is, I may never be able to find you because I'm looking for a handle. In Facebook, at least you have a name. And so I can find you by your name, because if I can remember what your name was when we were in school together, I may be able to find you, and that might be helpful. Um, Preserve your sanity, but at the same time protect your business. Or protect your sanity while at the same time preserving your business. It's very important that you do that. You may need the ad platform. The other social media platforms that are propping up all over the place, and my goodness, there's a whole bunch of them. Just be aware of the fact that they don't come with all of the advantages that we have. That at this point in time, there has to be a transition that takes place. And people who say, I'm going to be out of here by Thursday, we have to have a way to capture that. We have to have a way to capture connection with that person and not lose touch with them. And I agree, Don, there will be no new opportunities. Always is. Actually, in recognition of Veterans Day, I posted two pictures, my dad and my grandpa. And my pa was a huge inspiration to me about what it means to roll with the punches. Lots of stories about that, and I can tell you what they are at this particular time. May save that for a future bucket talks or several future bucket talks. But I'm always careful because there's some people that are involved, and I want to be careful about how I relay that and communicate that. But somebody who taught me what it means to roll with the punches and how to do the next thing, whatever that next thing might be, even though you may feel like the last thing got stolen from you. It's important to move on to the next thing. And my inspiration for that was my dad's dad, who served our country in World War I as a mule skinner. I probably doubt if very many of you have ever had a connection or relationship with somebody who was a mule skinner at one point in their life. But my pa was. I was proud of that fact, and his life made for some interesting stories that he told me when nobody else was around, and I kind of enjoyed that. That's what I have for you today. I just want you to remember, it's okay if you need to depart. Listen, we love you. I don't know how I'm going to reach out to you. Don't know how I'm going to connect with you. I don't. I'm struggling with, do you move to another platform, Eric? Do you include another platform? Can your sanity handle another platform? And the answer to that question right now is, I'm not going to do it this week. I can tell you that. I'm going to have to maintain my sanity in the process of other people trying to maintain theirs. So with that said, I love you. I look forward to talking to you soon if you're still around.